Alright guys, welcome back to Rogue Mystic Divination, and I haven't done one of these in a while, but we are going to do a pick a card. And if you see any smoke in the frame, it is because it is cigarette smoke, so imbuing the reading with love and prosperity vibes. So, because I believe that's the correspondences, the magical correspondences for tobacco. But here we go. We've got, there's going to be 3 piles whenever I get there. And this is going to be for hidden influences. For whatever's going on in your life. And I was debating whether this was going to be 1, 2, or 3 cards and then expanding, but I think it's going to be 1 card and then I'll expand while I'm reading it. So if it feels like it needs clarification, I will do that. So go ahead and pick your pile and we'll see what our hidden influences are for what's going on with you. As always, thank you for tuning in, and like and subscribe the video and check for your dailies. I know I'm behind on my weeklies and monthlies right now, but this is the real world, right? With just as much drama and problems as the TV show, so not going to go into it, but thank you for your patience and thanks for sticking around. I am trying to put out more content for everyone, so if there's anything in particular that you like that either I don't do or a reading that you'd like to see from me, make sure you put it in the comment below. And here we go, from left to right, 1, 2, or 3. We're starting with pile 1. Pile 1. I know we're coming off of the holidays, and it was very, very important for some people to ensure that they were giving to other people, but it could have put you at a loss for your daily life, your daily, you need this, you need that, and because you may have prioritized giving to other people, you could have overgiven, and if you feel as though you're stressed out right now, that could be why. As for a hidden influence, it could be that you felt pressured because of the holiday season or something else is going on in life, that you felt that somebody else's needs were more important, that you needed to prioritize them over your own, and it really is a situation of allowing the needs of others to dominate your life and forgetting about yourself. So if you find that you have been, like, you can't figure out what's bothering you, what's making you tired, what's making you stressed out, it to the point where it may even have you with a hair trigger temper, all that love and care and attention that you've been giving to other people, pull it back into yourself, start taking care of yourself, and see what it is that you need right now, because that needs to be prioritized. If it seems as though others have been, like, expecting you to do things for them without even asking, or just expecting you to do things because that's what you've been doing lately and they got used to it, It may be time for you to be upfront and say that that's great, but normally I would help, but right now I need to take care of home and yourself. And I'm going, well, apparently I'm going to pull two. Where the source of this hidden influence could be coming from. Now, whenever I did dailies for the 5th, I did the 5th of January 2025. Because this will be, whenever you find this reading, it's for you. But whenever I did the dailies for Pisces for January 5th, 2025, they were the only sign that I pulled 2 cards for. That's because they were stuck together, just like these are. So somebody could have been utilizing you in order to get out of poverty or to recover financially. So if you find that you gave presents, because it still is kind of within the holiday season, and then that person did not retain those presents, they either sold them or returned them, that could be what happened. But with that coming up, I do want to say that after you have given a gift, you have no control over what a person does with it. So if it was a family heirloom or something that was important to you, you may find that you feel that you should have retained ownership of it, rather than giving it to someone who only saw it as a monetary asset. Now, if it's something that was willed in a will or an estate to a specific person, understand that it's not your responsibility to keep track of what it is that other people do with things that have been given to them. It's not your responsibility. It's not meant to be your priority to retain that. Even if someone tried to put that onus on you, it's not yours to keep track of. If they thought that the other person wasn't going to take care of it or keep it in the family, then they shouldn't have given it to them. They should have had some kind of stipulation in place. But some of these issues, some of these like finer details and relationships that other people have with each other, you need to let go. Because you could feel as though, even though it, like say you have multiple siblings, and each sibling obviously has a different relationship with each parent. And for some reason, you're seen as the responsible one, and another sibling is seen as kind of the fancy-free, living their life however they want to, getting away with everything that they do. And your parent, regardless of your age, expects you to micromanage and almost be a handler for the other sibling. That's not how life works. This is not a burden that you should be expected to carry. And after I started reading this, I got some breathing issue thing going on where it's almost as though it's from anxiety. So what this whole combination says to me, regardless of this being a fire card, the Ten of Wands being a fire card, it still comes out as a money burden. Some kind of financial burden has fallen on your shoulders, because even though it doesn't directly affect you and you don't get to hold the profit of it, you're expected to manage this for somebody else. And the other person everything is in their name. All the legal responsibility of it is in their name. And it really does feel as though it's somebody else, somebody older that's expecting you to carry this burden, even though they don't give this to you directly. So really, it feels as though you need to absolve yourself of any spiritual or soul kind of responsibility for what goes on in this situation, because at some point, people are adults and they can make their own decisions. At some point, they have to be their own individualistic self and handle their own individual problems. You can't be over here acting like a government handler for an asset, especially whenever you're not getting paid for it. And because of the strong pinnacle energy in this, I do also want to say that it may be time for you to drop some contracts and find out how much legal responsibility is it you do actually have. And because of some kind of emotional pressure from a family member, that's what you need to do. Because then they will agree to something, and then you can always refer back to this as received. Like, you knew what was going on, you knew it was your responsibility, and beyond that, I only have so much control or so much responsibility on my end, or I can control anything. After that, it's all up to you. So it really is. It almost feels like an asthma attack. But it's like that shallow breathing, just the upper part of the lung, or feels like the upper part of the lung. So very anxiety induced. And drawing up a contract could really help you release some of this anxiety over this situation, because if this has to do with real estate or property, this other person could, it almost seems as though this property, if it involves a house or something like that, it almost seems as if this irresponsible person has gotten a loan on this piece of property and gotten some kind of financial gain out of it. But in doing that, they solidified their ownership and their responsibility for it legally. And now they're coming up short. So there may be a part of you that wants to take on this burden and almost save the situation, but it's not your responsibility to do so. Focus on yourself and what you need to take care of for you. Because if there are any unpaid debts, it's almost as though people owe you and are not recognizing it. Either time or money. Well, thank you for sticking around, Pile 1, and as always, you can still stay around for piles 2 and 3 if they resonate for you, and thank you for tuning in. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I will still see you guys for dailies, and hopefully I'll get back up to weeklies and monthlies here soon. Thank you. Pile 2. Welcome back to Rogue Mystic Divination, and these are going to be your hidden influences that's around your life for whenever this finds you. And You know what, pile 2? I just had something and I just lost it. Like a physical pen that I just had, and now I cannot find it anywhere. So that could be one of the things that's hit. Thank you. That could be one of the things that's causing you some kind of grief or some kind of issue. It could be happening with everything you seem to touch right now, pile 2. But for your tarot card, we have the devil. Now with this, I want to say that the devil's in the details, but there could be something that a part of yourself that you normally don't listen to is trying to tell you. And it's trying to tell you this for good reason. There's something going on where it doesn't even have to be shady. But in the end, someone's trying to come up with a way to tempt you to their side, to get you to do something. And it feels like it's something that they are going to benefit off of, but you won't. And even though it seems as though they believe it may put you into a place of detriment, they're still going to ask you to do it, but they're going to do their best to make it sound good. Now, you could be a Capricorn, or this other person could be a Capricorn, and I also want to say Gemini. So that's either you or the person that you're dealing with, and it doesn't have to be romantic. It just be a person that you deal with in your life that it feels like someone that you know, that you could pick out of a crowd, that you know their name, but you don't really have too much connection with them beyond that. So if you're distant from family, this could be a cousin, really anybody. This could still be a sibling or a parent that you don't really have that much to do with. Not for any negative reason, it's just that you never had a connection to where you hung out, to where you got involved in each other's lives, but somehow they see you as an asset, pile 2. And if this person is trying to get you to go into business with them, I would refrain from that. Strongly refrain from that. Don't sign any co-signing documents or anything like that. There is also the chance that they may have done this behind your back and signed your name, or had somebody else sign your name as a co-signer, or you have some kind of asset that is connected to them that you don't know about. Someone else is aware, though. A third party is aware of what's going on, or they're seeing what the other person was doing or has done. And they're investigating it. They're trying to see exactly, probably because this person has tried to get somebody else to be involved in their business or in this venture that they're a part of, and they don't like some of the lingo that they're using. Maybe they're calling you a silent partner or a silent investor or an angel investor or something like that. And as fruitful as this person wants to make this look, they know that there's something tied to you that could set all of this on fire and destroy everything because there's fraud involved. And you may be receiving a phone call on the 6th of January or the 15th about this situation. And somehow you will have a decision that you have to make, but it's going to be one that ends it or keeps this going. Like, you could come in and legally almost take ownership of everything, but I have a feeling you don't want to do that. There's some hidden debt, there's some hidden bad financial investments that any profit coming from this business is not covering. And after you actually get into the nuts and bolts of what this business is, you may find that it's not only fraudulent but illegal, and you're going to be better off seeking charges against this other person. Because that may be the only way that you get out of this debt. It really does feel as though it's going to be very difficult to prove that you never signed any of this paperwork, but it's almost as though there's a robo-signer that they use, like they just copy and pasted your signature from another document that they're not supposed to have access to and they don't have any legal right to, and you'll be able to prove that because this document doesn't have anything to do with this business. And there we go. Now this card is just to clarify exactly where it is that this energy is coming from, where this hidden influence is coming from. Doesn't seem as though it's going to be hidden for very long. You're going to find out about this betrayal and about this deception that this person is trying to get over on you. And whenever they do, you're going to be able to counteract that with... because they're very comfortable right now. They think they know how to work everyone in the situation, and you may end up throwing them for a loop whenever you say, no, and actually, I already investigated that, and I investigated myself to see what all it is that I am currently legally, openly involved in. Because it seems as though there is something like a court document or something that had to be filed with like a board of register or like a trademark, a copyright, something like that, that's associated with your name, but you have nothing to do with it. It could even be a credit card. So if you suspect anything like this is going on, now might be a good time to go through your credit report and see what exactly it is that you are, through agency, associated with. And this looks as though this might even be you closing the credit card. Seeing that they opened a line of credit in your name and closing the credit card. Whatever it is, if they're trying to come up to you and say that, well, you owe them this or you owe them that, or saying that you are obligated to do this because of family connection or whatever, you're not. And you're going to be able to pull the rug out from under them, no problem. If you don't find anything in your immediate area, I would try and check other counties that this person happens to be involved with, or happens to, that you know that they travel in, and checking the county court documents, the court dockets and things like that, which you should be able to do online, no problem, no fee, nothing. It's public record, so you should be able to see it, especially if it has your name attached to it. You may want to do that, because this person seems as though they are bold and think that they can get away with anything, and they can't. But definitely don't be afraid to call their bluff, and if you do find anything with your name on it that you don't have any idea where this came from, what this involves, take it up with the court system. Hopefully this is new and you'll be able to nip it in the bud before it becomes a problem that you are forced to deal with in other ways, like paying it off, assuming the debt, or anything like that. It does seem as though you're going to catch it right whenever you need to, though, so do look into that. And it almost seems as though it might be tempting for you to let this ride and see how far they're trying to let it go, but don't do that. Because at some point, whenever you find out about it and you don't do anything about it, then you will become a part of the problem. But that is going to be it for you, Pile 2. Best of luck, and do your best to do your due diligence with whatever this is. Because it does feel like there is paperwork and a signature associated with this. And do your best to remain level-headed whenever dealing with anything involved with this, because getting heated is not going to help you out. But also don't be afraid to look the problem in the face and say, no, that's not going to happen. I am also getting that this may take up to 7 weeks for you to clear up, so hopefully not until Aquarius season. But anyway, Pile 2, thank you for tuning in. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And as I said for the other piles, I'm trying to get caught up on the weeklies and the monthlies. So thank you for your patience, and I hope to see you again soon. Pile 3. And things are just not going to stop shaking. So you could be dealing with something that's really about to shake up your world, and you're just going to have to write it out. This is for hidden influences. And thank you for tuning in, Pile 3. Back to Rogue Mystic Divination. And I don't know, you may have a thing with rubbing lotion on your hands, or it's winter. You could have a lot of dry skin right now too, so I don't know what all of a sudden started bothering me. But no, this is going to be hidden influences for whatever's going on with you. And I feel most distracted with your reading. So you could have a few things pulling you off of the path that you think that you're supposed to be on, but you still feel as though this other situation is pulling you away for a reason and you can't shake the feeling. But your card is already out, and then I will pull you one more to clarify where this hidden influence is coming from. And it just backs up what I just said. Gotta live it right. You feel as though you have all the tools that you need, but somebody could be manipulating you away from the path that you want to be on. Now, this poor planning could be not necessarily because of you neglecting things or neglecting to focus on what it is that you need to do, but whenever you start getting your ducks in a row, somebody starts to see you doing that, and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, oh, can you do this? Well, can you help me with that? Can you do this? Can you fit the bill for this? Pulling your money and your resources, and the most important resource, of course, your time, away from what it is that you need to be doing. And to add the cherry on top, it could be because this person is almost standing there saying like, oh, why are you doing that? Or, oh, you're just wasting your time with that. Oh, there's no reason you need to be doing that. And no, I don't see the point in that. Well, they don't have to see the point. It's not what they're doing. It's not what they're feeling drawn to do. And it does feel as though you're almost in an infinite loop of feeling that you finally come to a point of understanding with this person. And then whenever you get comfortable, they pull your energy away from what it is that you need to be doing, and you help them deal with whatever this problem is, and then they go back into well, why are you wasting your time on that? I thought we were doing this together, and you're like, no, I'm just helping you with this. It's an endless loop. But as upside down as you may feel about this, in the end, it's going to be their poor planning that catches them up. Once you switch for where this hidden influence is coming from, it's almost as though they're using your personal beliefs against you. You may be in a position where you feel if you keep giving to a situation, if you keep contact with family, if you keep pouring energy and love and resources into these connections, it does feel like it's a specific person, though, that things will get better. And this person is using this against you to keep going with whatever it is that they're going with, even if it's not netting them what they say it's supposed to be netting them, whether it's finances or fame. So if the tide is going to turn, it's going to have to be you that does it. This hidden influence for this could be that you're going to turn the tides on them by saying no, or doing what it is that they've been doing to you. Well, why don't you do this instead? Why don't you come help me with this, and then, you know, we can focus on what you're doing later, which is what they've been doing to you. Start pulling back some of your resources by better utilizing this person, how they've been attempting to utilize you. And if they don't like that, and it's, I kind of almost see like a path splitting in two. You're requesting the same thing from them that they've been requesting from you. Could actually sever that connection and end this infinity loop that we got going on with this give and no take. And these resources could be time, money, energy, just creativity. Whenever you turn the tables on them and give them something that they don't expect, that's when this is going to change. Now, this person could be someone that's, you would almost think that this person is a fire sign. But I don't think they are. So if you do happen to know some of the zodiac influences around this person or in this person's birth chart, it's likely that they are an earth sign with strong air elements. Hey, maybe they were born in a tornado or during a tornado. And they've kind of used that to define their life somehow. And I never do this. I'm sitting here doing this. Like, I never do that. So that could be something that's specific to you or to this person. In pile 3, this feels like this is pretty short, but I think this is the shortest one out of the 3, but I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Because that seems to sum up your situation to me, from what I'm seeing, and hopefully some of that helps you out to figure out how to, and I'm still doing it. I'm still doing but yeah, turn the tide on this person. It's likely that you are a water sign, and it doesn't even have to be an emotional thing. The tide comes in and then it goes back out. So utilize the ability to kind of roll with things and go with the flow. And you could end up turning this into your favor somehow, or severing a tie and making this person become more independent. And during this, they may actually see how much weight they're putting on you or other people. So it looks like there will be a positive result from this. It's going to take time for it to come out positive. But pile 3, thank you for tuning in. This has been Rogue Mystic Divination. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'm still getting caught up on weeklies and monthlies, so thank you for your patience, and thank you for viewing the reading, and I hope you guys got something out of this, and I will see you guys next time.